I got my client 40 leads last month. I'm going to be breaking down to you our biggest winner of that month, which is the 28 leads. As you can see, this is the ad account. Our reach was 16,000. The impressions were 32,000. Cost per result, which just means how much are you paying per lead, is $14.86, which is fantastic. And we spent just over $400 on this ad alone. That generated 28 leads. This is it here, and I'm going to be pulling you over to Canva here shortly just to fully break down to why I think it works so well. So this is the ad here. This is the copy. And this is, as you probably know by now, Alex Hormozi's value equation. This is a local individual I'm helping with. So this is a local cosmetic. He's actually an MD, but he does cosmetics on the side. So let's break down why I think this got 28 leads. The way the eyes work is you look here first, right? So your eyes go here first, here second, and then here third. Okay, and that's shown using Facebook's eye tracking. So they are tracking your eyes, and they can see where people look first. And the first place to look is, again, this big spot here, right in the middle. Second is the headline, and then third is the actual copy. So the way I prioritize this, and the way you should prioritize your actual ads, are you want to make the photo very intriguing, or anything around this image here. Okay. You want to make this part as intriguing as possible. Now, what I did was, obviously, I put it's cosmetic lesions, so it's mole removals, X, Y, and Z. I put a mole right in the center. Because people, one, if you know your target demographic, a lot of people don't like the moles, want to get it removed, and don't like skin tags X, Y, and Z, as you can see I'm going to talk about here, but we alluded to it. And the reason I put the back, because the back is a very common place for someone to either have a mole, a skin tag, a wart. I didn't, and I could be wrong here. Again, we should have tested it. I didn't. I just stuck with this because it was working so well. The reason I didn't put a face, because another common place for moles is the face, is because I wanted to provide the least amount of stimulus to the individual watching. So the face can be very subjective. You can get lost looking in the eyes, the nose. People can think, oh, that doesn't look like me, so this doesn't apply. Essentially, the back, every back kind of looks the same. And again, it's just another common spot. So that's why I chose the back. And then basically what I did was I took a magnifying glass, and basically this black here basically pops out from the back. This magnifying glass basically centers the eye right in the middle towards the mole, right? So that's the first thing they see. Whoever sees a mole, if you have a mole, you go, oh, I can resonate with that. That kind of looks like something I'm dealing with, okay? So that's the first thing. Again, your eyes come here first. So you want to make that stand out, and I did basically with the circle here from the magnifying glass, basically setting your eye on this mole. Then next, your eyes are probably going to come down here. Done in 9 minutes. So if we look to Alex Hormozi's value equation here, the reason why cosmetics works so well, and he's alluded to this before, is because you can have your dream outcome. You can have the perceived likelihood of achievement super high. So your dream outcome is maybe removing the mole. The odds of that taking place is very, very high, right? We're not trying to achieve something spectacular here. It's just removing a mole. So it works very well. The perceived likelihood of achievement. I didn't have to really put much proof towards who's actually doing the operation, because it is local based, and with local based, the trust is already there. And so this individual has been here in this location for a very long time. So I didn't really have to build that proof or that trust. Now, if you are marketing to a bigger location, I would say drop some proof, drop some trust, drop some status, just so the consumer is confident in who's doing the operation. But again, my client didn't really have to fight that barrier because it's been already made from the years he's been in this location. So the perceived likelihood of this achievement is very high as well. The time delay. So this is one thing I touched upon here. A lot of people don't know how long this takes. And there is a conception about going to a doctor's office. It's going to take time. I'm going to have to sign forms. I have to wait there. It's going to be miserable. So that's one thing I want to touch upon. And that's why I basically here done in 9 minutes. 9 minutes. That probably is going to take the time it takes you to drive to this location is probably longer than the 9 minutes. And it is, so I spoke with the MD and I said, hey, how long does it usually take? 9 minutes. Perfect. Lovely. That's one thing we can use to our advantage. Whenever something takes time or again, there's a misconception within the marketplace of how long this could take. Like if you're going to do doctor's office, usually you're thinking, again, I'm going to have to sit there for a long time. I'm going to have to play with my phone for a long time. I'm going to have to wait. I'm going to have to see people. I'm going to have to, like just there is a negative connotation to the hospital, right? No one really likes to go to the hospital or to a doctor's office if it's not out of, appointment or necessity. So the time delay was a big thing for us to use because I knew 9 minutes is lovely. And I knew a lot of people wouldn't be thinking it would take that short of time. Okay. And then obviously effort and sacrifice, which again is kind of based on the time there. It's going to take 9 minutes. So the effort and sacrifice is quite low, right? So we're using time delay, 9 minutes, and then you're going to think, wow, that's pretty quickly. So my effort and the sacrifice needed for me to go do this thing is quite low already, right? And so immediately, okay, maybe I should have done this. So your time delay is down, and that's kind of how the equation works, and your effort and sacrifice is quite low as well. And this is what value is, at least to him. And it's quite nice. It's written quite well there. So done in 9 minutes says a lot. My goodness, there's not much you can do these days for under 9 minutes, okay? And the great thing about this too is that I'm using a blue background. So the blue background already sticks out, okay? And then I basically bordered it with a yellow background with black text, which sticks out tremendously, right? So you're scrolling, again, Facebook advertising is a disruption marketing. So you're scrolling, and then I see two contrasting colors, the blue and the yellow. I see the photo, my eyes go here first, and then I see done in 9 minutes. Oh my goodness, if I have a mole, a skin tag, a wart, or any other cosmetic lesions, my goodness, that's me. I do have a mole, right? They're thinking, the avatar, the consumer, I have something on my skin that I don't like, and it can be done in 9 minutes. My goodness, that's awesome. I'll take it, right? And then down here, my eyes come here third, okay? Or second, if you will, right? And then erase skin imperfections in one quick visit. Again, we are touching upon the time delay and effort and sacrifice in one quick visit. In this 9 minute visit we're gonna do, you'll come in, we'll get it done. It's a very competent individual because people know him, trust him, there's credibility there. Perfect. Why not? I should opt in. Yeah, let's get it done. Okay. So that's basically why this ad has been doing very well. All right. And then here, so basically the profile of the individual is up here. I just took it out because of, I want to keep the privacy of my client. So the profile is up here. And then all they're going to see is tired of living with skin tags, warts, moles, or other cosmetic lesions. If I have one of those, yes, I probably am tired of living with them. Again, people are busy. They don't really put themselves first. And so, yeah, if I have one of these things, I probably am tired and I probably really haven't got it done. Okay. You're not alone. That's what they see. So again, pain point. It's a question. Okay. I'm in increasing involvement. So now I'm getting you to participate by answering yes, which is also compliance. Perfect. You're not alone. Okay. Interesting. So there's other people like me that need to get this thing removed. Okay. So that's what you see. So that's the whole ad when you're scrolling. Okay. Now this is the text. And to be frank, the text doesn't really mean much. These concepts though. So number 1, the photo. Number 2, the headline. And number 3, the actual, the question or whatever you are going to use for them to press see more. Okay, so they press see more. They go, these small imperfections can impact your confidence, of course, but removing them shouldn't be a hassle. Again, it's going to be very quick, easy. Come in and you can go out and you can get back to your daily routine that day. Okay, whether it's your face, neck, or body. Again, we're just calling out very common areas. Again, people can resonate with that. People can get compliance. Oh yeah, that is me. Okay, feel heard. It's time to reclaim your clear, beautiful skin. Our MD, again, this is the only point that we do mention some competence. Again, competence is very high within this market with this individual. Our MD-led cosmetic lesion removal offers fast, safe, virtual, painless. So here we're just eliciting some benefits. Right? Fast, safe, virtually painless, tailored solution to your skin's needs. We ensure precise removal with minimal downtime. Again, very short, very time you'll be here. You can get back to your daily, your routine the same day. Who doesn't want that? You can increase your confidence. You can get to your dream outcome. Again, looking towards this equation here. You can get to your dream outcome. The perceived likelihood of achievement is very high. As soon as I see MD, I say, okay, this individual's competent. Time delay, 9 minutes. Effort and sacrifice, 9 minutes. And I can get back to my routine the same day. Fill in the quick form below. Again, quick. It's not going to take 5 minutes. It's going to be quite quick. And this went to an instant form. And again, there was like 3 main questions. Just so we, or I, for instance, could get more data, get more angles, see really what they're coming in for. Okay. And that's why this, I believe, worked very well. So just to break that further down, number 1, and again, the reason why this worked very well is because the individual is well known in the community. So if you're not well known, you are going to have to put, again, more status there, I would suggest. Hey, we've done X amount of these. You need some competent or some status symbols. I've been doing this for X amount of time. I've done X amount of procedures. I have done X, Y, and Z. My clients love it. You know, I have Google reviews, whatever the case may be if you're in a bigger market and you're not as, and you don't have that social proof, okay? But number 1, the big thing here, okay? You want to know what your avatar is looking for. So a lot of people have, or a lot of people need the cosmetic lesions, okay? So the procedure of the cosmetic lesions is quite high, right? A lot of people have moles, skin tags, warts, X, Y, and Z. So basically, it's high demand. Okay, and if your competitors are doing this too, that's perfectly fine. That means there is a market for it. Number 2, you want to elicit something from here or convey something out of this equation. You're trying to give them value. So ultimately here, it was basically the competence was already elicited from years of being already in this market. So we did time delay. My time delay was low, right? And the effort and sacrifice, we'll just say E and S, was low as well. Great. You don't want to be, people do not like wasting time. If you're wasting someone's time, they are not going to like you. And then ultimately, the ad sticks out. So it's a compelling ad. Okay. Again, there's contrasting colors. Contrasting colors. And it's bold, so it sticks out. Again, you need your stuff to, as they say, scroll stopping. Okay. That is why this ad led to 28 leads. And this client of mine only paid $400. Okay, I think it was just north of $400. So investment was, I think, $400. And think it was $14 per lead, roughly. Okay. For 28 leads. So for instance, let's just kind of do the math here. So out of that, we got 28 leads. Okay. Again, not everyone's going to book. Not everyone's going to pick up. That's why the follow-up system we use is so important. We got a very good booking rate because we do set up follow-up systems. And for anyone listening here, speed to lead. So how quickly you contact these 28 leads. So for instance, I think we were at probably 70%. Again, not everyone's going to book in. Some people have questions. That's why that instant form, you offer some friction. You provide friction by asking questions. So if someone really wants to do it, they will go through all the steps to get their information through, right? If you could care less about this, you're probably not going to go through those questions. You'd be like, whatever, I have other things to do. So that's important as well. Provide friction to qualify those leads, okay? But speed to lead is very important. So if you have patients or anyone that has opted in, I think the stats show within the first 5 minutes, I'm just going to move this up here. The first 5 minutes, you have a potential, I think it's a 400% increase in closing the sale in your close rate if you contact them within the first 5 minutes. A lot of people are not doing that, unfortunately. It's maybe a day, it's a few hours. The secretary is busy, which I totally understand. So it's super important. It's almost one last thing here before I go. There's kind of two scenarios that you need to do. So hopefully all that makes sense. Now, your job is to set up a proper ad. This is the river. This is the water. Okay. So, right. So your job is to basically set up an ad that is very compelling, uses some of these characteristics. Again, if you're in a bigger market, you're going to have to basically do more of these. All right. But my job is to set up an ad that's very compelling. Okay. So imagine there's a bunch of fish here. So the ad is to catch the fish. Okay. So there's a bunch of fish, right? Bunch of fish, bunch of fish, bunch of fish. My ad is to catch the fish, aka the leads. Then I need, that's job one. So job one is knowing how to fish. And then job two is actually, I guess, cooking the fish or knowing how to cook the fish. And in this sense, pardon the analogy, in this sense, it is following up and actually booking the leads. Okay. So it's like, great, at least we can catch the fish, but if you can't book or cook the fish, then there's no point. Okay, you're just going to have a bunch of people. Okay. So, like for instance, this analogy kind of works, not really, but if you don't cook the fish within X amount of time, it goes bad and you can't actually eat the fish. Right? So there is a time period that you need to basically interact within that period to book them. Right? So I set up the ad, you catch the fish. That's step number one. Step number two is actually booking them in or cooking the fish. If you don't, either the fish goes bad, aka the lead goes cold, they forget about the service, they don't want the service, you don't reach them. Right? So it's super important. There's two jobs there. Okay. Whether that's us doing it for you, whether that's the secretary, whether that's, I don't know, a team member, whether you hire someone outside, that's totally fine. But this here and this, for instance, is 5 minutes. That's where you want it. You want it at 5 minutes. You're going to increase this by 400%. It's speed to lead is super important. If you take anything out of this, as soon as you get an email, a text message, anything, speed to lead. is crucial to the success, right? So that's what I wanted to say. Okay, so there's a few things to just quickly recap. The reason why this ad did well is number one, it's a high in demand procedure. Okay. Also, it's eliciting pain point. So you have two types of people. You have people going towards pleasure, classic NLP. You have people going towards pleasure, people going away from pain. Right. So if I said, hey, I'm going to give you $5,000 today, some people are either going to think, great, I can go on vacation, or great, I can go out of debt. Going towards pleasure, moving out of pain. Right. For instance, this here is moving out of pain. I don't want that on my skin anymore because it decreases confidence, my self-esteem, X, Y, and Z. So it's high in demand, okay? High in demand, and it touches upon pain point with the question asked here. Time delay is very low, 9 minutes. Effort and sacrifice is very low, 9 minutes. Again, competent, so I didn't have to, that's why there's not much social proof here, because there's a ton of social proof already within the market with this individual. The ad is compelling, right? For those various reasons, contrasting colors, X, Y, and Z. It's bold, right? And then within the first 5 minutes, it's got to be as quickly as humanly possible. Ideally within 5 minutes, or they're not going to buy from you, but they're going to go buy from someone else. Okay. And then you book them in. Speed to lead. And to further qualify, or at least, as they say, weed out the tire kickers, our instant form had about 3 to 4 questions, as you saw prior, which helps the actual people wanting to do the thing fully go through it because they're in pain or they're whatever, right? So that's kind of the whole scenario there. Again, the copy doesn't matter all too much. What you can do is you can test. The only thing you would probably want to change is, again, you can have, let's say, this spot here can probably stay the same. This portion here can stay the same. This portion here can stay the same. And then your CTA could maybe be different. Doesn't really matter. The big thing you probably do want to experiment with is the first sentence. And then obviously the photo, the picture, the video, and your headline. Okay. And you can do that, just duplicate campaigns and then just try different ad creatives. All right. That is why I believe this ad did well for my client. Of course, they're happy and they are making more money because of these copywriting or advertising principles that you can use as well.